But I had purchased this Diamond Art cards. Oh my goodness. I don't know. It was at some time last year that I purchased these. And I just didn't get around to doing them. But I do want to go ahead and open these up and get them done. And then that's one less thing sitting there waiting to get finished. Yes, of course, I got these off of Amazon. I think that's where you can get some of these really pretty cards. There are, almost every one of them has this crinkle in the corner, which I don't like at all. And I'm sure it's the way they were packaged and sent from Amazon, which was just in this plastic bag. And you can see here in this corner how bad that corner is crinkled in. So it was shipping that did it. And I didn't really pay much attention to it until long after time that I can send these back. And in here too, on this side, there's also this bad little wear here. This front, I'm going to try to put some parchment paper down on the ironing board. Sometimes you can iron these flat again. I'm going to try to do that after I get the diamond painting done and see how that works, and then I'll let you see it. You definitely can't do it. I mean, you could do it beforehand if you wanted to, just to see. It's almost like you want to say, well, can I fix it before I work on them and then determine what to do with them. Well, for me, these are beautiful. I'm just saying. And so you could put them in a 6x6 frame if you wanted to, and just set them around your house. I mean, they could be framed very inexpensively, and like I said, you could keep them, you could give them away. But they are very pretty. And this one here, you know, this butterfly. And as you get, some of them aren't quite as bad, but they're also dented in other places. And again, I'm not particularly happy about that. I will put a review on Amazon that they were shipped so poorly that everyone was bent in some fashion, almost unsendable to me unless they are able to be ironed out and flattened a little bit. This bouquet with a basket. Here's another butterfly. These are some lilies and butterflies. I mean, the colors on here are beautiful. On the inside, they are completely blank. So you could put any message you wanted in there. It could be birthday, it could be Mother's Day, it could be get well. I mean, it could be anything. You could personalize them anyway. Beautiful rose. There's another pretty bouquet. There's a hummingbird. And here's some more sunflower bouquet. And these, of course, have some very large specialty diamonds. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to open this up because I have enough out. This bag is one of those that open this way, so it's not like factory sealed, I guess, or hermetically sealed, or whatever you call it. There are, let's see how many colors. For you to hopefully see that a little bit better. But we got floral colors, nature colors, you know, very pretty. This ends at 28. And then here at the end there is 1, 2, 3, 4 specialty diamonds on here. And this goes to G, so I don't know. Well, it ends at 32. So 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So 38 colors for these cards. And I'm going to do one of the cards, and then I'm going to iron it. And let's see if I can find, this one's really pretty. I'll do the flat, that one that has the specialty diamonds on it. And then you get your large 7x7 envelopes to put these in. Really nice envelopes too. Okay, I'm going to work on this one a little bit. Then I will finish it, and then you can see what it looks like. So here's another bag. So whatever I counted to, it's plus one more, which these are the E's for these big sunflowers. I need to stop discarding the little top of my wax, the little cover, the little plastic cover, because they just get so dirty. Sometimes they get knocked around on my table, and I'll stick my arm on it, or it ends up on the floor with all the dog, cat hair. I mean, you know. So try to do better than that than I do, because you'll save on your wax. It'll stay stickier better. It feels pretty sticky. Does not feel sticky in between. This one I can't really feel in there, but this I think might be a little sticky in between there. This one, yeah. But some of these, it looks to me like they tried, but I think when you have so many close together, maybe it doesn't work that easy, whether it's glue or double-sided tape. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sometimes being judgy. But my pen today is picking them up. Now this one, of course, has a lot more diamonds on it than maybe some of those others with just the birds. So this one for sure will take longer. You know, I have done a lot of cards, I think. I probably won't do much more cards. I mean, I have enough that I've made after this. And I might get some of the birthday ones that are for like kids to send to my granddaughter and my grandson. Because they're inexpensive enough that, you know, you can't buy them for the cost of what you're paying for a little bit of a fun art project to get to do something and, you know, to be useful to mail out. But I have a feeling that, you know, family and friends are going to get tired of getting a diamond art card for their birthday or Christmas or something. And so, yeah, I'm at this angle that's hard for me to see exactly what I'm doing. So I don't always want to make them feel like they have the burden of, they're going, oh, another diamond art card. But again, they could be going, oh, another diamond art card. Not necessarily, or they're like, oh, no. But they could be. Then they could just be secretly, you know, loving them for an instant and then tossing them in the trash like we do probably most cards that we get an overabundance of. At least with these, like I was saying, you could put them in a 6x6 frame and just kind of stick them around someplace for decoration, because they just are beautiful. I read, I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, the Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Recorded it well before the accident. And then, I don't know, I was getting out other videos and I didn't get it edited. And so, right before the accident, I had decided to go ahead and get that edited so I could put it up as its separate audio file for you guys to listen to if you wanted to listen to it. I had pulled it up and somehow, I don't know whether the system named it and didn't overwrite another file or whatever. I don't know. But the first 11 chapters are nowhere to be found. So I was not particularly happy about that. So I'm going to have to go back and reread the first 12 chapters or 11 chapters. I mean, at this stage of the game, if I have all of the rest of them, I might as well just reread them, and since I have the others recorded, but that was disappointing. And then the car accident, and so can't read at the moment. And so at some point here, hopefully within the next few months, I can get that reread and put up, and then start on another book. Hopefully things ease up. That's pretty blue. I think I was starting to talk to you a little bit about Bigfoot in that other video, and I get distracted and sidetracked easily and kind of lose what I'm talking about in the moment. Just can't multitask. One thing at a time. I have been an enthusiast of Bigfoot since I was a little girl, and I just, was something that I always was fascinated with. I think my dad was always fascinated with it, and so then I think I was. But that Expedition Bigfoot that I started to tell you about, that I had been watching before I got redirected to the Dyatlov Pass, and then talking a little bit about my Psychic Examiner channel. I live in Washington State, which is one of the hot spots for Bigfoot sightings. And I don't know if it's like one of the states with the most Bigfoot sightings or not, but this season, well, a couple seasons ago, they were in Washington State, the Expedition Bigfoot team, and that was really interesting. It's kind of fun when you know they're kind of in your backyard, and I don't know, somehow it just makes it more interesting, I think. Although I will say that then they went to Alaska, and that was very interesting. And then now they're back, and then I think they went to California or something. But anyway, now they're back in Washington State, up in the Northern Peninsula area. Not very many sevens there. So that area that's up there in that little corner of Washington State that in a way separates us from Vancouver Island and that. But that's where they're at the moment. And the things that they're finding is really interesting. But there are lots of stories. I mean, there are lots of shows. There's a show called Terror in the Woods, I think is what it's called, or one of them's called Terror in the Woods, and there's another one in the woods, Fear in the Woods, maybe. And it's mostly also about Bigfoot, although that show talks about ghost encounters and other types of phenomenon. Some people, like werewolves or were creatures or something. Like if you think about the Mothman prophecies and things like that, those are the kinds of things that show covers, not just Bigfoot. But I usually watch just the Bigfoot ones. You would think, as many ghost encounters as I've had and all the consultations that I have done for a couple of paranormal investigation teams, and then I actually wrote that. See, I keep sticking my fingers on there. That's not good. It takes away the sticky. See, and then I'm dropping it. That Ghosts would be my go-to, but no. I mean, I'm just not that into him, if you can believe that. I mean, I wrote a book about him years and years ago on clearings. You can probably find it on Amazon too, probably in 2011, I think I wrote it. Worked with Llewellyn Publishing Company on the book for 9 months, and then I didn't make the last changes. I think I might have even mentioned that at some point. I don't know. After you've done so many videos, you kind of forget what you talked about in the past. But I don't talk much about my psychic life. I usually stick to just, things that are going on or the project. But I did write the book, and the book was on clearing how people can clear their own homes. And I worked with Llewellyn, like I said, on it for 9 months, and then I wouldn't make the last changes. I just didn't feel like I could. And so it didn't go to contract. And, I was told if I'd made him, it had gone to contract. Couldn't do it. But I should have known better. Llewellyn Publishing is very pagan-minded. So it's almost like if I would have referenced the devil as my go-to, or some pagan god or goddess to rid a house of spirits, they would have published it. I'm just saying. I mean, you end up with bias, whether you're too far Christian or too far pagan, and there's bias on both sides. I mean, there's just no other way of looking at it. One is not any more open to the other than the other one is. But I'm just saying, if I would have done that, it would have went to contract without a problem. But because I did not do that, and I referenced God, the Christian God, if you want to look at it that way, they wouldn't publish it. And that's the part they wanted me to change, and I couldn't do it. I'd end up with a book that didn't help people any more than anybody else's book does. So this is the choice I made, and it is self-published on Amazon. I'm in the process of rewriting it because it was in the left, because I published it in the format that the editor at Llewellyn wanted it in, and left out a lot of information. So I'm in the process of rewriting it and putting back in all of the information that was originally in there. But, that's on hold too, for the time being. I'm a kitty cat, Sydney. I know. No, you can't get on my lap. You got too much hair. It'll get all over the place. So, like I'm saying, you would think that as much as I do ghost stuff, and then the Ghost 411 podcast, that would be a passion. Well, it's not really a passion. It's something I can do, and I'm good at it, so I do that. Of course, not during the concussion. Can't do that. But I would much rather talk about Bigfoot than ghosts. Just would. Well, I'm going to finish this up and then show you what it looks like. I finished all of them. This is the sunflower. I tried to iron it. Obviously you can see it just didn't work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. For me it was definitely worth a try. They are very shiny, gorgeous. All of these turned out gorgeous, I can't tell you. And there were an awful lot of diamonds left over, which we'll put in a baggie. I mean, I just can't tell you how gorgeous these cards are, but they're unusable, in my opinion, for anything other than maybe a framing, if you wanted to try to frame it. But that's the sunflower. The bouquet is beautiful. Now I will tell you, these little tiny ones on this one, and then there was one other one, and when I get to it, I'll mention it. These are like putting on little tiny shards of glass. Oh, they were very difficult for me to get a hold of with the pen and get them on there. Beautiful. Butterfly. What I did when I was putting the diamonds on is I did pretty much one color at a time. After I finished the sunflower, I just took one color and went through all of them. And of course I had to go back and do a few because I missed some. And even here, I can see I missed a couple. This is number 28, so I'll have to pull that one aside. Sometimes you just miss them. This is the other one. Really pretty. These little tiny shards. Yeah, just really, really tough. For me, anyway. But, yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be kind.